Alechem, everybody. Hope all is well. Today I want to talk to you all about the power of Torah. Torah existed prior to this world existing. And the Torah comes from a much higher source than this world. And the Torah is the blueprint of this world. So as I've spoken to you, as I've explained to you, I've tried to explain to you in the past. Obviously, it's not whatever I put in my videos, they're not. Obviously, sometimes I have my own take on things, but generally, I'm bringing to you things that I've learned from great rabbis and great teachers. So I'm not creating these ideas, but there are times where I'll give my own take on it and develop them. But this is a known concept from Kabbalah, from Chassidus, from Torah, that the Torah is above all of the Seder Hishtalshlus of like the worlds that we know. As we know, there's four general worlds. There's the world of Asiya, the world the world we're in now, action, the lowest world. The world of Yetzirah, the world of formation, that's right above us. The world of Bria, that's right above that, the world of creation. And the world of Atzilus, the highest of those four worlds. Atzilus being the world of emanation, where Hashem is, where there's no created being, so to speak. As you go down these worlds, as you go down these different levels, the more you go down, the more the beings feel their own presence and the less they feel Hashem's presence, to where you get to this physical world where a person could actually at certain points only feel his own presence and not be conscious of Hashem's presence. The more you go up, the inverse, the more you feel Hashem's presence and the less you feel your own presence. Ever notice when you're having a great moment, you're not focused on yourself, you're focused on the moment, you're focused on Hashem. So, but this physical world that we're in, the lowest, so to speak, is what Hashem's most interested in, because here we have free will. Here we could bring Hashem the greatest pleasure by doing His will. And this is the place where Hashem wants to reveal Himself, as we learned in Basi Lagani. This is the place where Hashem wants to dwell. In the higher worlds that are above us, Hashem is already revealed to an extent. The higher you go up, the more He's revealed. But in this physical world where at first glance He's hidden, this is where He wants to completely reveal Himself. And as you know, the more something is hidden, all the more it makes the revelation even greater. So too in this world, Hashem at first glance hides Himself, but through Torah and mitzvahs we can reveal Him, and that sets the stage for the greatest revelation possible. So how does this relate to Torah? So I explained to you about these four general levels of the world. It's called the Seder Hishtalshlus, the chain of descent of reality, and the Torah is sourced from higher. Hashem, obviously, Hashem's infinite light is above, and Hashem Himself, Hashem is one. But as we experience, there's different levels. But this is not a contradiction at all. They're all just a revelation of Hashem at different levels, depending where we're at. So the Torah is from a higher source than any of the worlds. And the Torah is compared to water, because just like water, it always goes from a higher source to a lower source. Like if your roof is tilted, the water is going to go downwards. So too the Torah goes down from the highest realm into this physical world, passes right through all the worlds, and it doesn't change. It doesn't lose its holy source. So even when we're learning Torah down here in this physical world, we're connecting to Hashem on a level above any of the worlds. We're connecting to Hashem Himself, His essence, the highest level. So this is something to be conscious of. This gives us strength when we decide to, and this applies to mitzvahs as well, of course, because this is all the will of Hashem. So when we do Torah and mitzvahs, we're drawing down a light that is completely above any of the worlds. That's why. So if we find whatever situation we find ourselves in, no matter how difficult it may seem, if we connect ourselves to the Creator and we do His will, we're drawing down a light that is incomparably stronger than the darkness that we think we're encountering. So no matter what we're going through, when we bring a little light into the picture, or a lot of light, when we bring Hashem into the picture, immediately the darkness vanishes, flees, just like in this physical world as we experience. When there's a dark room, as soon as you bring the light, the darkness can't exist in a place of light. So too, when we bring spiritual light, no spiritual darkness can stand in the way. And this applies even for other people. When a Jew learns Torah and has another Jew in mind, and even if he doesn't have another Jew in mind, and he's fulfilling the mitzvah and the other Jew is not fulfilling the mitzvah, it gives strength to the other Jew, because the other Jew, for whatever reason, can't do that mitzvah at that moment. He may not be in this position, he may not understand, he may not have the education to know that he has to do this specific mitzvah. So another Jew does a mitzvah, it helps the other Jew. We're all a family. So one mitzvah adds to another. And it could be that by you doing one extra mitzvah, you may inspire ignite a spark in someone else's neshama, another Jew halfway around the world, and that may cause him to turn to Hashem and change his life. So So we're all connected, and it's like Torah spreads like fire. That one little spark can ignite a huge flame. So too with Torah, one person does an extra good deed, it spreads exponentially. And if, again, as I say in most videos, if you're not Jewish, you can also be a part of this process by keeping the 7 laws of Noach, learning about the 7 laws of Noach, and sharing them with the world. You also connect to Hashem himself, and you spread the light of Hashem in the world, and it's an exponential growth as well. One Noahide shares the Noahide laws with another Noahide about the laws and Hashem's existence, the reality that Hashem is the king of the world. And when we all share that with one another, it's an exponential growth, and it spreads. And that is what is needed to bring the Messiah, to bring the Mashiach, is just spreading Hashem's presence to the world. That's the main thing. Obviously, that we have to work on ourselves, we have to work on our character traits, do our best to serve Hashem. That's all part of the plan. So I think that the main way to activate this process, to make this process happen quicker, to accelerate the process, yeah, that's the word I was looking for, to accelerate the process, is by just talking about Hashem to people. When you meet people, speak about Hashem. You never know what it may spark inside their soul. So may Hashem bless you, and may today be the day that we get redeemed. Happy Hanukkah.